Welcome to Aurelius Whitlock's Murder Museum.
I'm Marcus Richardson.
And I'm Nathan Hicken.
And I've been electrocuted. I feel like I need to know more about car batteries and lightning. I don't know if car batteries attract lightning. If this body was already electrocuted, was it struck by lightning already? Or was it being charged by the car battery? I think all of this as I am charged and dazed on the ground, I assume.
Fair questions to have. Questions that perhaps a certain exhibit writer also had and was having a hard time Googling it, and in fact had some discussions with multiple people to try to figure out how exactly this would work.
Also, the person who decided to include a car battery, like, you didn't have to set it up this way, but here we are. Okay. I'm interested in learning more. Was this all just a scheme to get some free power for someone's car battery? Can you charge
Someone's
a car
trying to jump
battery
their
with
car?
lightning? That's one way to jump a car.
Yes, but it's important to have a dead body as a conduit. So, yeah.
Excellent news. Am I still unconscious? Do I wake up?
Ha! Plot twist is the end of the whole murder museum. No, you do wake up. You wake up in a large 4-poster bed, not your own, which I don't suppose I know in universe what your bed is, but you wake up in an unfamiliar bed with the police officer and Emmeline standing over you. Oh, looks like you're awake, finally. We're worried about you for a second.
I've been electrocuted. Why was there a car battery up there?
You say
what
this
just happened.
Your speech is very slurred, and your ears are still ringing. In fact, your vision isn't quite all the way back yet, as the lightning struck very close to you.
Mm-hmm.
I would say inquiries are ongoing, but, well, you hear he has a radio attached to his hip. It beeps once. Chief, the fire's still out of control. We're still working on containing it. Over.
Did the lightning start a fire?
Well, Emmeline, see for herself. She pulls back a window curtain, and you can see a fire raging on the fort next door.
Are we inside the fort?
You are not inside the fort. You are outside the fort.
And is it still raining?
It is drizzling. It is not heavy.
Well, I'm going to try to spring out of bed. There might be evidence out there that's literally burning. I've got to go back.
You spring out of bed. You stumble to the floor with your bum leg, various bruises and gashes, and the officer stops you. It's not worth it, son. Anything in there is left to burn. We're working on it.
The entire fort?
It's not safe to go inside right now.
Can I try to elbow him as someone who's just like completely disconsolate? Wait, what's the word?
Inconsolable?
Inconsolable. There we go.
If you want to brute force your way outside, yes, you you are able to run into the storm and fire.
Okay. I guess I actually don't know where to start inside the fort, but I do need to investigate this lighthouse. So despite the fire, I think I'm going to try to get into the lighthouse.
The lighthouse is where you are. You burst open from the doors, and you just look up, and you are in the lighthouse.
Oh, that makes sense. That's feet away from the fort, and it's burning? They took an unconscious person and put him in a bed feet away from a raging fire?
But the lighthouse is stone. It's fine.
I think these people are silly.
You do worry about their common sense. Police Officer Mango, as Genevieve called him, does not seem to have quite the most developed problem-solving skills.
Well, I guess I turn back around and I say, what do we do now?
Are you outside or are you inside?
I go at least to the door. Are there still people outside in the rain?
So, as you go out to the door, you pass through a large central spiraling staircase room that leads up to the roof, and you do see people gathering there. If you go to the door, you see that Genevieve is standing by the door.
Does she look like she's trying to keep me in or out?
No, she looks like she wants to go out too.
I'm gonna ask her. I'm gonna say, well, you always have some theory. What do you think has happened to my father?
Oh. Well, since you're asking, do you really want to know?
Yes. Do you balked? You thought it was crazy that I just rolled over and assumed that he had died in an accident. So if it's not an accident, then who killed him?
That is a great question. Your father, as I'm sure you're aware, had quite a lot of enemies. Has not done himself...
Who doesn't in one of these, right?
Mark. But anyway.
Bless him.
And your father hasn't made things any easier, especially with the last year. But, well, I don't know exactly what happened, but it seems strange that your father would drown himself in alcohol and throw himself off the roof off the top of the lighthouse when he asked me and Emmeline for an interview, which, believe me, is rare.
He asked to be interviewed by you?
To be
or asked...
interviewed, yes. Yes, to set up an interview with me and Emmeline.
Do you have a recording of that interview?
No, it was supposed to be today.
Oh, like he was going to tell you something and he didn't make it.
Classic. If you put it like that, yes.
So that makes it feel a little strange, a little suspicious.
Odd. And, you know, tragedy striking twice. It's a little odd. But
yeah, tell me more about that. What do you mean striking twice? What was someone killed by lightning on this site 15 years ago?
She looks at you and squints. I think you got hit harder a little more than you realized back there.
Yes, I think so too. Go on.
I'm really not the person to tell you about that.
The bane of any point-and-click player's existence is when someone says, well, I don't know about that. I'm not sure. I'm the person to talk to. All right. Well,
you drag yeah.
In that case, if Mango in this one thing actually is right and it is dangerous to go in there and like I won't get anything of it, maybe I should go to the top of the lighthouse and see what is up there.
Okay.
Actually, all right. Before I turn around, I do want to squint at the fort. Does it look like I'm about to miss my chance to, like, is there progress on putting out the fire? Is the fire burning such that this entire thing is going to be chars within hours?
It looks like it's mostly contained to the area within the body. It looks salvageable. Like, it doesn't look like the whole fort's going to burn down. But it looks like significant parts of the wall will be damaged.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I am going to go to the top of the lighthouse.
Okay. So, you go up these spiral staircases. This spiral staircase. As you're walking up the spiral staircase, again, there's a crowd of people down there. Really quickly to describe what this looks like. Big, open, circular room. There is a statue near the center on the floor, and carved into the marble is a picture of a mountain. Thus, going up, you spiral around about twice until you come to a window that is broken, and there's a cane on the ground.
Is it my father's cane?
How would you determine that?
I thought I would just ask the narrator and see if he would just tell me because I asked nicely. I guess not. Okay, walking cane, wooden.
Wooden with a hard stone topper.
And is in the shape of an animal?
It is not. It's just in the shape of a little, like, dodecahedron kind of thing. There are chips in it.
What do you mean chips in it?
Like the
like
little
in the
stone is
wood.
chipped, yeah, and the wood.
The stone. Okay. So it's old. A cane and a broken window. Does this window overlook the fort?
It overlooks the sandy cliff.
Well, I pick up my walking cane and I use it to help me get up the stairs.
As you pick up the cane, your vision swims. And all of a sudden, you see a vision filling your eyes. It's dark, it's shadowy, and you, its POV, are pushed up against the window, and there's a shadowy figure assailing you with the cane. All of a sudden, you're pushed through the window, and you're falling onto the sandy cliff below.
Can I make out any details? This shadowy person. Did they rip the cane out of my hands?
Yes.
Okay.
Any details? No. The lighthouse was dark, which is odd.
Is odd. Yeah.
Just a little flashback. Anyway, not suspicious.
Oh boy, gimmicks. Gonna pop open Pocket Watch for the first time. Pocket Watson, excuse me.
He doesn't even have a name anymore, just Pocket Watch.
Yeah, I flip open the whatever his name is, the Pocket whatever.
You flip open Pocket Watch. Dang it! Now you got me.
Yeah.
You flip
Make
open.
Watson Pocket Watch again.
I'm so sorry, Pocket Watson. You flip open Pocket Watson, and you see a glitchy, blurry screen with Pocket Watson coming in and out of focus. As you open it, he sees you for the first time, and you hear the following muffled, garbled message.
Marcus! Where are... The signal's not strong enough. I need you to patch me in. Marcus!
I don't know how to do that.
Find a power source.
Power source? Like a car battery? The only one I know of is in flames. I'll work on it.
The static fills the screen once again.
I close it and continue trekking up the lighthouse. I thought I would ask him about is there such a thing as flashbacks driven by touching specific objects? But it would appear that my connection is too weak at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious what kind of other things I might encounter that are gonna want to be prepared. I want to see if I can tell when a vision is about to be upon me.
Oh, I see. Well, if you look more at the cane, you don't see necessarily any special glow about it.
Okay, well, I'll just take them as they come then. And I continue up.
You come to the top of the lighthouse, and you see it is partially enclosed. There are two walls, but then there's two open spaces where you can see a railing going along the outside. You can see the big giant light bulb. It is still dim. You can see a series of switches and a generator in the corner as well. I believe that is it.
Yeah.
There's also, a parrot.
A parrot?
Yes, there's a stuffed parrot that's gimmicked up like one of those old fortune teller machines.
Oh, how odd. Does this one have a monocle?
It does. There is a little insert 5-cent token slot.
Does it have a name on this machine?
Does not have a name.
But do I recognize the parrot from the moonshine exhibit?
It looks like a parrot that you maybe have seen before.
Okay, fine. I don't suppose I have a nickel in my wallet.
You do not.
If I had a nickel for every time I didn't have a nickel, I would have a nickel. Well, I was just talking to Pocket Watson about needing a power source. I want to go over to the generator. Is there any way that I might be able to jimmy rig some wires?
Ooh. So you go over to the generator. You see that there is a clipboard on it. You also see that there is a control panel that has been screwed shut. You would assume that if there were any wires you could fiddle with, you could get to it in there, but you would need to get a screwdriver.
Okay. What does it say on the clipboard?
The clipboard is a service maintenance history of the generator. You see that the most recent entry is from August. So it says maintenance requested on August 3rd, 1998. Maintenance service completed August 9th, 1998.
When was it requested?
August 3rd, 1998. So 6 days.
Okay, I don't suppose this... Oh, can I look back at the receipt in my pocket? Does it have a date on it?
It does. The date in your pocket says August 7th, 1999.
Okay. It's almost exactly a year since this generator was last maintained. What are the odds that exactly a year ago the lighthouse went out and a ship crashed and it was all very sad?
What are the odds indeed? Are you saying this out loud?
Who would hear me? Not within the bird. If there's anything I know about like mysteries, Phoenix Wright games, things adjacent, it's always exactly a year or 10 or 15 that the big tragedy that connects it all together happened. I probably don't say that out loud.
Smart move. That is a good question, though.
Okay. What were the other observable places? I assume there's a balcony up here.
There's a balcony.
Right.
There's the giant light bulb, which looks to you, for all intents and purposes, like a giant light bulb. It is dim, so it doesn't look like it's fully turned on. There are a wall of switches behind the generator, and then there's the balcony area.
Okay. Let's go to those switches.
Okay.
Are they labeled?
They're not labeled. They look like the big, handle switches that you'd flip up and down. You assume that they go to the bulb or the generator. Not exactly sure how to use them at this moment.
Well, I just pick a random one that's down and I push it up.
You push it up. It gives a really satisfying thonk as you do that.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
No. Okay. Assuming I don't see anything immediately actionable here, let's go over to the balcony.
Okay. What are you doing at the balcony?
I'm looking around for evidence. I'm also looking over the edge and seeing if I can see on the burning wall my dead lighthouse keeper, Cuthbert.
You go over to the balcony, and peering over, you can see, I guess, how close... You go over to the edge of the light.
How close do I get to the edge?
Yes.
I've already fallen out of this lighthouse, so nothing can scare me anymore.
Okay. You go over to the edge, and you can see over the balcony and see that you can see the body of, the flaming body of the keeper below you.
Does it look like the balcony right there is broken?
It looks sturdy.
I knock on it with my cane.
You knock on it with your cane. It sounds sturdy.
I try kicking it with my good leg.
You kick it with your bare foot.
Oh, that's right. Where's my shoes?
And
ow!
Your vision dissolves once more.
Oh, this is a bad place to get a vision. When I'm on 1 foot above a dozens of foot drop.
Suddenly, it's night, and there's a raging storm. You're at the top of the lighthouse. In your hand is a flashlight. You're shining it out into the storming, crashing waves. You can see a shape out there, but it's moving so erratically that it's hard to place it. Rain is pouring down over the balcony. It's slippery, it's wet. As you are flicking the flashlight, you can hear a voice from below the lighthouse.
Rose! Rose!
At that moment, you feel a heavy jolt. The whole lighthouse shudders, and you tip over the edge.
Rose.
Your vision swims back to you, and you're back on the top of the balcony.
Oof. Well, as long as I'm still standing here. The clues in this scene. I was holding a flashlight.
Mm-hmm.
A voice was calling out possibly to me, and then I teetered forward as if it was... Oh, no, the entire lighthouse shook.
Shook, yes.
Was there a loud flash?
There was a
or
loud
bright light?
crash. There was a loud crashing sound. Sorry, I should have described that. And then you fell.
Like the crash of a boat from 1 year ago onto the shore?
It did sound distinctly boat-esque.
Interesting. I don't know what boat-esque crashes sound like, me personally, but maybe Mr. Cuthbert
I think
does.
it's a very distinctive sound,
Mm.
obviously.
I need to ask some people about this. Anything else upstairs that I have failed to look at? I feel like there's one other area.
I think you've looked at everything.
Okay. Well, that's the second time I've experienced a vision falling out of a lighthouse.
Yeah, you got the two... right? Back to back.
And it was touching the banister
Yes.
that seemed to make that happen. I'm going to go downstairs back to the bed where I was put.
You go back down there. You see that Officer Mango's still in there, and the man you talked to in the crowd is also there.
I never got his name, right?
You did not.
Am I going to have to awkwardly say I don't remember every character's name to get their name? This is like the real life nightmare of forgetting people's names.
Right?
Having to role play it over and over again hurts my soul.
It is very reminiscent of those nightmares you used to have of forgetting people's names and things like that. And you know, for some reason that feels on purpose.
Like a god of nightmares doesn't care how I feel.
Yes, like a god of nightmares perhaps had a hand in this.
Wow, she's pretty petty if she's choosing little tortures.
If you want, we can fast forward the awkward role play of getting people's names.
It's
I will
okay.
tell you their name.
I'll get it out of the way. I'm so sorry. Could you remind me your name?
But of course, it's been a nasty tumble you had, and after the lightning strike, I assume you're a bit rattled. So, let me. I'm Vincent Elwood. I've been in Wichita Bay my whole life. Worked at the Fort Wichita. Does this ring any bells?
No, it doesn't. But thank you for your willingness to go along with this.
Anything I could do to help. I mean.
And how are you employed, or what do you do for work?
I'm the director of the fort. He kind of tears up and glances out the window at the burning fort.
It's a dark day for fort directors everywhere.
Yes, thank you. It's my whole livelihood. I spent my whole life at that fort.
Truly, yours is the greatest tragedy of this night.
I don't know how anyone's life day could be worse than mine.
Nice. Well, speaking of bad days and sad things, could you tell me about the death of Rose?
He looks taken aback, visibly, and kind of mops his brow. That's not a subject you've ever wanted to talk about before.
I'm a bit rattled. I think that the neurons have been jostled around enough that you might not be able to anticipate the way I'm going to act.
It's usually how you're known anyway, and that's not exactly comforting. But,
Is Rose Cuthbert my mother?
Yes. She died here a year ago.
Was it exactly 1 year ago?
What?
Was it on the night of a boat crash on the shore? Because the lighthouse light was out?
The lighthouse light was out. You think back to the vision, and the only light came from the flashlight.
Interesting.
Varför hon på en sätt slutel för det först